So in my last video, I went over the themes about the first Shenmue game being about grief and living in a small town. Shenmue 2 is about being a tourist in a foreign land. In the first game, the player might have felt like a tourist the first time they played the game. However, Ryu Hazuki was not a tourist. In Shenmue 2, Ryu feels like a foreigner just like the player does. And we as players feel those same feelings. So the game begins with you arriving in Hong Kong. And you don't even have a place to stay. You get your money stolen by street thugs, have to take on a part-time job moving boxes with the legendary Del Lin.
I'm Du Lin. Good to see you. Left, left. Push the number of times that I tell you.
And make a few new friends that help you along the way. It all feels so real. And the theme of Shenmue 2 is really the theme of the series. And that is being a tourist in a foreign country. Shenmue 2 was developed and published by Sega for the Dreamcast in 2001 and on Xbox in 2002. The game was directed, produced, and written by Yu Suzuki. Like the original game, Shenmue 2 consists of an open-world environment with fighting battles and quick-time events. It features a day and night system, variable weather effects, non-playable characters with daily schedules, and various minigames. The player once again takes control of martial artist Ryu Hazuki as he arrives in Hong Kong in 1987 in pursuit of his father's killer. Ryu's journey takes him to Kowloon and to the mountains of Guilin, where he meets the woman of his dreams, literally. Also appears on your favorite chocolate and chips bags. Sweet! Some of Shenmue 2 was developed alongside the original Shenmue, which was the most expensive video game ever developed at the time, with an estimated production and marketing cost of $47 and $70 million. The Dreamcast version was only released in Japan and Europe. Microsoft secured console exclusivity in North America and released an enhanced port for the Xbox in 2002. Shenmue 2 is filled with life lessons even more so than the first game. You were taught that being a martial artist is more than physical strength. A lot of it is the strength of the mind. Shenmue 2 offers a lot of unlikely gameplay.
Okay, unless I tell you otherwise, keep pushing forward.
Sure.
Right!
You will dust off walls, catch leaves, air out books, and yes, you named it, duck races. But this gameplay has a reason and represents a mental state that you should be in. A lot of this is reminiscent of the movie The Karate Kid.
Wax on, right hand. Wax off, left hand. Wax on, wax off. Breathe in through nose, out the mouth.
And while some gamers will say that this kind of gameplay is stupid or boring, but they are completely missing the point. The reason Shenmue 2 is more than a game is because it takes risks with unconventional gameplay. It doesn't just have gameplay for the sake of being fun. Instead, it uses gameplay to craft its story and lessons to be told. One of the most important lessons Ryu learns in Shenmue 2 is about the 4 Woo-Do. When I first read the name 4 Woo-Do in subtitles, I thought it was pronounced Wood. Perhaps that's the first lesson. Do not be deceived by words. Anyway, the 4 Woo-Do are aspects that every martial artist must follow to stay on the right path, or else be led astray and hated or even killed. The 4 Woo-Do is a lesson for Ryu as well as the player, and it is pure genius.
Do you know the 4 Woo-Do?
My favorite part in the Shenmue series happens in Shenmue 2, and it's not until the last act, which is more like a prologue for the upcoming game. Just after the game's epic climax, you think the credits will roll, when suddenly Ryu arrives in the magical land of Xiuling. Xiuling is a beautiful place in China with nature and wildlife as far as the eye can see. Long pointy mountains formed by centuries of rainfall, the most beautiful music in the game, and surprisingly no battles at all. Mostly just relaxing sightseeing. This kind of gameplay is so unlike anything in the series before it. In fact, it's different from anything I've seen in any other game. And somehow, it all works when it really shouldn't. It's accomplishments like Xiuling that continue to allow me to see the genius of Yu Suzuki's work. And this was all but a taste of where the series would go from here. Shenmue 2 took what was great about the first installment and improved upon it. At the same time, it expanded the environments and made a much bigger game. Shenmue 2 in its ending created more excitement and wonder about where the story would go next, and leaves off on a major cliffhanger. Unfortunately, Shenmue 2 never sold that many units, and the death of the Sega Dreamcast led to Shenmue 3 being cancelled. For years, all seemed lost, until at the 2015 E3 conference, following years of speculation, Yu Suzuki launched a Kickstarter campaign to crowdfund Shenmue 3, with Sega having licensed Shenmue to Suzuki's company WiseNet. It became the fastest campaign to raise $2 million in under 7 hours.
出張に行ってもどこ行っても、3はどうなった、3はどうなった、いつ3出るんだとか可能性を探ってきた結果、キックスターターでシェンムー3を作ることに。
After 18 years since Shenmue 2 released, fans will finally be able to experience the next installment in the series. And I plan on making a follow-up video titled Why Shenmue 3 is More Than Just a Game.